Bugungi darsimizda Cambridge 12-kitobimizning test 8 oxirgi testda passage 2 haqida gaplashamiz va bu qismda birinchi navbatda bizdan qanaqa mavzuda research qilish kutilayotganligini tushunish maqsadida headline o'qishimiz kerak va o'zingiz ko'rganingizdek bringing back the big cats, demak yirik mushuklarni qaytarish, demak o'qishda zoologiya, biologiya kabi mavzularda biz tekstni o'qishimiz kerak bo'ladi va bu o'zingiz ko'rganingizdek bu qismda bizda multiple choice questions lari bor. Undan keyin esa multiple choicedan keyin summary completion, reintroducing the links to Britain, linksni reintroduce qilish Britaniyaga. Yasanayotgan savollari bor ekan. Bunga e'tibor berishingiz kerak bo'lgan qism shundaki, paragraflar ABCD qilib bo'limlarga ajratilmagan. Keywordlar orqali javoblarni topishga katta ahamiyat berishimiz kerak, e'tibor berishimiz kerak va bundan tashqari bu paragraflarni o'qiyotganimizda multiple choice savollarida birinchi keywordni tanlagan holda what did the discovery 2006 of animal bone revealed about links masalan o'qiganimizda reveal about links buni butun paragrafni o'qiymiz javobni topish uchun. Shuning natijasida bu multiple choice savollarga javobni topishga muvaffaq bo'lamiz. Lekin shu bilan bir vaziyatda shuni aytib o'tish kerakki, reintroducing the links, agar bizda o'sha o'qigan joyimizga kelib qolsa, o'sha javoblarni ham topib javobini belgilab ketishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Chunki agar shunaqa qilmasangiz, masalan multiple choice tugatib bo'lganingizdan keyin yana bir marta qaytasiz, to'g'ri keladi, vaqtdan yo'qotish bo'ladi, shunaqa vaqtdan yo'qotish, keywordlardan yo'qotish, how to reason memory, ya'ni miyangizdan chiqib ketib qolgan bo'ladi o'sha informatsiya, o'sha uchun ham inefficiency bo'ladi. Shunda ham masalan vaqtni tejash uchun vaqtni intensiv ravishda, efficient ravishda ishlatish uchun bu qismga e'tibor berishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Masalan, bu qismda Britain could become the first European country to reintroduce links. Masalan, bu qismda links reintroduction haqida yana gap ketgan. Masalan, bu reintroduction haqida gap ketadigan bo'lsa, javoblarni birdaniga topishimiz mumkin bo'ladi ikkita qism uchun ham. Kelganda birinchi navbatda 2006-yilni o'qiymiz va javoblarni topishga harakat qilamiz. This is a poem written about o'z ko'rganingizdek 11 linkslarni tarix haqida berilgan. 598-yilda poema yozilgan. Describes hunting. 2006-yilga topilmalar ko'rsatadiki, bu 6000 yil oldin emas, 5000 yil oldin, xo'p, 1000 yil oldin yo'qolib ketganligini ko'rsatish mumkin. 5000 yilga qisqartiradi extinction date-ni degan. Physical appearance were distinctive haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Bor ma'lumot, lekin bu asosiy informatsiya emas. Extinction was linked to the spread of farming haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Vanished from Britain several thousand years ago. Bor, masalan. Survived Britain longer than previously thought. Survived in Britain longer than previously thought. Hop, C bo'larkan demak javob. D bo'larkan javobimiz. Chunki mana oldingi masalan would bring forward estimated extinction date by roughly 5000 years. Demak o'qishda 6000 yil oldin yo'qolib ketgan deb o'ylashgan, lekin 5000 yilga qisqartirgan o'shani. Bu 2006-yilga topilmalar shuni ko'rsatadiki, ular o'ylanganidan uzoqroq omon qolgan, o'ylanganidan ko'proq ravishda omon bo'lgan, tirik bo'lgan. O'sha uchun ham din olamiz bu qismda. This answer what happened here. Bunaqa qo'ysak bo'lar ekan tinchgina. Keyingiga o'tamiz. What point does writer make about large predators in the third paragraph? Yaxshi bo'ldi. 3-paragraf haqida bor ekan. 1, 2, 3. Rewilding means a mass restoration of damaged ecosystem. It involves letting trees return to places that have been denuded, allowing parts of the seabed to recover from trawling and dredging, permitting rivers to flow freely again. Above all, it means bringing back missing species. One of the most striking findings of modern ecology is that ecosystems without large predators behave completely different ways than those that retain them. Some of them drive the enabling processes that resonate through the whole food chain, creating niches for 100 species that might otherwise struggle to survive. The killers turn out to be bringers of life. O'z ko'rganingizdek, agar bir yirik predator, ya'ni yirtqichlar yo'qolib ketsa, ekosistema o'zini boshqacha tutadi. Agar large predator, ya'ni yirik yirtqichlar bo'lsa, bu dynamic processda, food chainda, ovqat zanjirida dinamik proses yaratib 100dan ortiq specieslarga yordam beradi. O'z ko'rganingizdek, killers, ya'ni bu qismda qotillar turn out to be ko'rinadiki, ular bringers of life, ya'ni hayot keltiruvchilaridir. Their presence can increase biodiversity. Higher probability, ya'ni ularning mavjudligi biodiversity ko'tarish mumkin. Mana 100 ta species haqida yozilgan. They may cause damage to local ecosystem. No information about damage. Behavior can alter according to the environment. No information about behavior should be reintroduced. Only areas where they're native. No information about it. Nima qismda ayni olamiz, chunki bu qismda mana presence can increase biodiversity haqida ma'lumot bor. Mana 100 dan ortiq speciesga, turlarga yordam berar ekan. What does writer suggest about bridge conservation in the fourth paragraph? 4th paragraphda bridge conservation haqida nimani suggest qiladi? O'shani topish kerak. Such findings present a big challenge to British conservation, which has often selected arbitrary assemblages of plants and animals are sought at great effort expense to prevent them from changing. It has tried to preserve a living world as it were a jar of pickles, letting nothing in and nothing out, keeping nature at a state of arrested development. But ecosystems are not merely collections of species, they are also dynamic and ever-shifting relationships between them, and this dynamism often depends on large predators. O'z ko'rganingizdek, British British conservation harakatlarini criticize qilgan, ular o'sha bitta narsani qotib qolgan holda ushlab turishga harakat qilgan degan ma'lumotlari bor. O'sha ma'lumotlarni hozir topishga harakat qilamiz boshqa rangga o'tgandan keyin. Failed to achieve its aim haqida ma'lumot yo'q. It's beginning to change direction. Nope. Taken a misguided approach. Bor, misguided approach haqida ma'lumot bor. It focused on the most vital species. No. Demak javob C bo'ladi, chunki uni yozib qo'yibdi. It has tried to preserve living world as it were a jar of pickles, letting nothing in, nothing out, keeping nature in an arrested development. But ecosystems are not merely collection of species; it's their dynamic and ever-shifting relationship. Demak, bu qismda noto'g'ri approach bo'lgan, noto'g'ri podxod bo'lgan tabiatga nisbatan. Protecting large areas of sea from commercial fishing would result in large areas from the sea from fishing, commercial fishing. Commercial fishing topish kerak. Commercial fishing mana demak bu paragraf o'qisa javob chiqsa kerak. At sea, the potential is even greater. By protecting large areas from commercial fishing, we could once more see what the 18th century literature describes: vast shoals of fish being chased by fin and, wow, seriously, and sperm whales within sights of English shore. Was this policy would also greatly boost catches in the surrounding seas. As the fishing industry insists on scouring every inch of seabed, leaving no breeding reserves couldn't be more damaging in its own interest. Demak, qismda o'z ko'rganingizdek, commercial fishing to'xtatsak, 18-asrdagi literaturada tasvirlangan holatlar qaytishi mumkin. Fishing industriya hozir yomon harakat qilyapti, chunki har bitta qismni efficiencyni oshirish harakatida, lekin bu o'zini o'z zarariga ishlaydi uzoq termda degan. Practical benefits for fishing industry bor. Some short-term losses for fishing industry yo'q. Widespread opposition from the fishing industry yo'q. Certain changes to techniques no. Demak, qismda o'ziga ham practical benefit olib keladigan ma'lumot topishimiz kerak, chunki agar unaqa qiladigan bo'lsak, masalan, it couldn't be more damaging to its own interest. O'zining interesiga qarshi qilishyapti hozir. Short-term loss haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Widespread opposition haqida ma'lumot bor. Opposition haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Shu qisqasi shunga tugatamiz. According to author, what distinguishes rewilding from other environmental campaigns? Rewildingni boshqa kampanyalardan nima o'zgartirib turadi? Rewilding is a rare example of an environmental movement in which campaigners articulate what they are for rather than what they are against. Demak, xuddi ana shu navbatda it's objective, more achievable, no. Information supports are more articulate, no. Positive message is more appealing, no. Based on sound or scientific principle, no. More articulate bu qismda menimcha nimaga qarshiligini emas, balki nima xohlayotganligini tushuntirib beradi ular. One of the reasons why enthusiasm for rewilding is spread so quickly is it helps to create more inspiring vision. Okay. More inspiring vision than green movements usually promise for us, and the world will be less awful than it would otherwise be. Demak, shunda more article haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Positive message maybe. Positive message. More article haqida ma'lumot yo'q o'tdi. O'sha uchun ham positive message olamiz. More appealing. Chunki mana bu qismda campaigners articulate what they are for rather than what they are against. Demak, shunda uni campaignerlar, o'sha ish qilayotgan odamlar nima qarshi ekanligi emas, nimani xohlayotganligini tushuntirib beradi. Yana entuziazmning sababi ular create a more inspiring vision and where is it one of the enthusiasm more inspiring vision. Demak, o'shunda green movementlardan ko'ra, masalan, positive message beradi ular. More appealing, more inspiring o'sha javoblar, entuziazm javoblari. Chunki greenerlar aytsa, bizga ergashsang, sal yaxshiroq, yomon vaziyat sal yaxshiroq bo'ladi desa, bu zo'rroq bo'ladi. Bizga ergashsang degan ma'lumot bergan. Shuning uchun ham menimcha. Xo'p, multiple choice savollar tugadi, lekin reintroduction of links haqida umuman ma'lumot ko'rmadik. Reintroduction of links. Mana. Reintroduction. Qani? O'qib ketaveraylikchi, javob toplar. Links presents no threat to human beings. There is no known instance of one preying on people. It's a special threat of raw deer exploded in recent decades, holding back by intensive browsing, attempts to re-establish forest. It will also winkle out cicateer, an exotic species that's almost impossible for human beings to control. It hides in penetrable plants of young trees. The attempt to introduce this predator marries well with the aim of bringing forest back to parts of bare and barren uplands. The lynx requires deep cover and such presents little risk to sheep and other livestock, which are supposed as condition to farm subsidies to be kept out of the woods. There would be many disadvantages to reintroducing the lynx. There is no evidence that lynx has ever put people in danger. Prey on people. No instance put people. Where is people? Humans. Ebola job. King's Sultans. It would reduce the number of certain whose population have increased enormously. They make certain deer. Where's deer? Roe deer. Farm animals? No. Hail size? No. Wild animals. Deerlarni wild animal deb bizga aniqlab bergan. Sinonim qilib berganda, masalan, deer desa oson bo'lib qoladi. Bug'u desa oson bo'lib qoladi. Shuning uchun wild animal deb o'zgartirib bergan. It would present only a minimal threat to provided this were kept away from lynx habitats. Mana yozilgan. The lynx require deep cover and as such presents little risk to sheep and other livestock, which are supposed as a condition of farm subsidies to be kept out of the woods. Demak, agar farm subsidiyalarni condition condition talabi sifatida o'sha woodlardan, o'rmonlardan uzoqroqda saqlansa, lynx ularni yemaydi. Yo'qsanda farm animalsga little threat berar ekan. Sheep farm animal bo'lgani uchun F olamiz bu qismda. O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek bu qismda sinonimdan topishingiz mumkin, lekin javoblarni sinonim orqali topish kerak. Javoblarni o'zi kelmaydi. Masalan, sheep, other livestock ko'rishingiz kerak. Ha, bu demak farm animal deyishingiz kerak. Logik mantiqiy ravishda o'ylab javoblarni topishga harakat qilishingiz kerak ekan. Furthermore, reintroduction program would also link efficiently with initiatives to return native to certain areas of the country. Native what? Forest back maybe. Bringing forest. Trees. Hillside mass. Endangered species mass. Trees maybe. Bilmadim. Xo'p, tree yozib qo'yaylik hozircha. Yozib qo'yaylik. Endangered species bo'lishi mumkin. Maybe yozib qo'yamiz. O'zgartirishimiz mumkin keyin. Hillside emas. Hillside u native hillside bo'lmaydi. Hillside u qanaqadir joy, местность. Javob bo'lishi mumkin emas. Katta ehtimollik bilan Xo'p, endi javoblarni topishga harakat qilamiz. Britain could become the first. No, bu haqida ma'lumot o'qimadik hali. Xo'p, maybe not given. Xo'p, o'qiymiz. On a recent trip to Cairngorm Mountains, I heard several conservation suggest that lynx could be reintroduced within 20 years. The trees return to the bare hills elsewhere in Britain. The big cats could soon follow. There is nothing extraordinary about these proposals seen from the perspectives of anywhere else in Europe. The lynx has now been introduced to the Jura Mountains, and also in eastern France and in Germany, has established itself in many more places. Population has tripled since roughly 10,000, as with wolves, bears, and the lynx has been able to spread as farming has left the hills, and people discover that it's more lucrative to protect charismatic wildlife than to hunt it, as tourists will pay for the chance to see it. Large-scale rewilding is happening almost everywhere except Britain. Britaniyadan tashqari hamma joyda bo'lyapti degan gap bor. Demak, Britaniya birinchi davlat bo'la olmaydi, chunki birinchi davlat o'zi o'tib ketgan. Birinchi davlat Fransiyada bo'lgan, Alplarda bo'lgan, mana hamma javoblar bor. rang o'zgartira olamiz. Yozilgan Jura Mountains, Eastern France, Germany. Uchinchi ham birinchi davlat bo'lolmaydi. Large growth in European lynx population since 70s has exceeded conservationist expectations. 10 mingta bo'ldi degan, lekin expectation bizning ajdodlarimizdan o'tib ketdi, zo'r bo'lib ketdi degan ma'lumot yo'q, shuning uchun not kelmay yozamiz. Changes in agricultural practice have extended the habitat of lynx. Have extended habitat. Yeah, of course. Chunki hillside'da tashab ketgan, yes bo'ladi. Chunki mana tushungan hillside'da agriculturega foydalangandan foyda yo'q. Mana lynx has been able to spread as farming has left hills and people discover that it's more lucrative to protect charismatic wildlife. Demak, tushunganda bo'ldi, nima qilamiz farming qilib, prosta o'ziga qoldiraylik, ferm o'sha turistlar o'tirib o'tdan bir narsalarni ko'radida bizga pul beradi degan ma'noni olishingiz mumkin. Shunda it has become apparent that species reintroduction has commercial advantage. Of course, yes. Chunki turistlar pul to'laydigan gap bor. Turistlar pul to'lasa, pul kelarkan olgan o'sha uchun mana commercial advantages. A tourist will pay. Lucrative, ana lucrative degani foydali degani o'sha uchun ham commercial advantage ga yes olishimiz kerak bo'lsa. O'z ko'rganingizdek bo'lsa, ozgina o'qish, ozgina o'ylash kerak, chunki ozgina birinchi navbatda hamma savollarni bilish kerak, hamma so'zlarni bilish kerak. Ikkinchi navbatda ozgina o'ylash kerak, chunki o'ylamasangiz, masalan, lucrative degan so'zni bilmasangiz, pay degan narsalarni commercial advantage ga commercial degani o'sha foydali finansiviga bog'lamasangiz, javob ololmasligingiz mumkin yoki not kelib yozishingiz mumkin. Xo'p, demak qisqasi tinchgina 3 deb yozamiz, javob bo'ladi. Shu bilan bugungi darsimiz o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Hamma savollarga javoblarni tushundinglar degan umiddaman. Agar tushunmagan bo'lsangiz kommentarda qoldirishingiz mumkin. Sizlarni keyingi darslarda ko'rishguncha xayr everyone. That's it guys, that's it. Bye bye.